afternoon to all distinguished guests, TP and ITE. TP is a place that I had great memories when I was in TP, I think from 2007 all the way to 2010. It's also the place where I first started my career in the media industry. That was then Supernova Media, which was in 2010 when I first started my third year in Poly. And I remember in 2010, I was already freelancing in the marketplace for broadcast and film, mainly as a scriptwriter, producer, doing broadcast and film content. When I had when I had the opportunity to actually start my company because of some connections that I had. So without further ado, let me share with you myself, my aspiration as a GenY entrepreneur. Next. Yeah. Okay, so for myself, maybe before I share with you the agenda, I will share with you my personality, so it's easier for you to relate as we go along with the slides. As an entrepreneur myself, I'm hungry, but not for money, but for breakthrough. I always believe in one thing. If you compare a person to a person, it's very hard to compare. If I'm going to compare with Mark Zuckerberg, he's probably heaven and hell. So it's a big difference apart. So I always believe in competing with yourself, as we always try to excel and go to the next stage. That's why I'm quite hungry for success. Next. Sorry. Which one? So when I'm hungry for success, it means that I'm a person with high threshold for risk. I can take risks pretty well. So I'll give you an example. I'm one of those persons that can earn $1 and take $1 to go for $2, and $2 to gain for $4. So it means that I have a very big cycle, ups and downs all the way. But at the end of the day, like I shared earlier, it's about fulfilling my aspiration, which I want to see breakthrough in my career. I don't want it to be a point where it's always stuck at a point where it doesn't move forward. So I'm always trying to find new ideas and new ways on how I can innovate myself and how can I expand my contacts and network to do greater things in life. So what's the agenda today? As I believe that as entrepreneurs, we have our successes and our failures. And success is something that leaves great memories behind. But I feel that failure is the one that helps you to learn the most things. And it's something that I remember the most, deepest in my heart. And aspirations to do well is actually motivated, at least for me, through learning and overcoming these failures. Some that we manage to overcome it, but some we don't. But all this, I feel, is just a learning process where we have to get over with it and continue moving on. So I remember I first started a company was in 2007. That was when I'm in first year in Temasek Design School. And that was actually a company called So Realistic Productions. Why so? Because my surname is So, so I just use it conveniently. And why did I fail there? And I remember, I only did one project. And after one project, I realized I have no leads for other projects. It's only this project that I managed to earn some money, but it's not good enough for the long run because as a business, you need sustainability. And one project alone doesn't sustain you well. So I realized that you actually need connections. You need a network to be able to get more accesses to more clients or more associates or partners where it can eventually create positive business outcomes. That's also the year when I know that I lack business knowledge. And I remember when I was in Temasek Design School, we learned mainly about design, but not about business. And I feel that if we want to turn designers or media professionals into businessmen, we need the business knowledge. Simple thing like different type of entities, I don't even know what is it about back then. So I spent some time to actually learn about it. What's a sole proprietor? What's a private limited? What's an LLP? What's a partnership? What are the regulations, the compliances, and all these things, in order to equip myself with the knowledge to do well in the next round. So I remember back then, because 2007, I was 17, so I had to use my mom's name to set up a company. Unfortunately, because I was quite, in a way, can't be bothered to do all the compliance things. So my mom eventually got blacklisted. And that's quite unfortunate of her. And I also learned that through this experience, I need to build up my connections, like I mentioned earlier, and also my knowledge. That's why I start to really read up on business books, talking to my friends from business school to see what kind of knowledge they can impart me. Then my second failure is in 2008. In 2007, you may be wondering, where did I get the money to do all these things, right? So in 2007 and 2008, I was a writer for TV programs. I wrote my blog, Compulsion, Carpentry, all these kind of TV series for MediaCorp back then. That's where I got money to do my things. So I actually franchised a donut brand in 2008. In fact, I don't mind sharing, it's called Summer House Donut in 2008. So I franchised one of the outlets, but it didn't do very well then. And I realized the problem is because of the wrong timing. In business, I feel an opportunity is all about timing. Whether do you hop into the right window at the right time. 2003, 2004 was the craze for donuts. 2008 was the downfall, and I went in at that time. So I guess I deserve to fail. And also, that's why I say I lack the business acumen to spot the trend, to understand what works and what doesn't work at which timing. So eventually, I lost money. I went back to work, continued writing and producing for TV. And yeah, I learned that timing affects success. So for me, it's always to keep learning from them. I mean, I treat every failure as a good learning opportunity. It doesn't matter if you fail or not, as long as you bring back something eventually at the end of the day, then it's worthwhile. Then 2008, 2009, I tried to do foreign workers. Because that was, but this is something too rigid. Why? Because the policies keep changing. So, and I also landed myself in some issues back then because I overtrusted a partner and I actually got scammed off my money. I knew it was a lady that I knew through my productions. One thing good about production is that it leads me to some bosses, SME bosses. So from there, I tried to figure out something to do to earn some money. So I got scammed. And I realized that sometimes people may put a very good show in front of you, but it's up to your own your own analyzing of the person to see whether is it credible or not. Nowadays, with online media being so, being such a good tool to search for people's profile, your aircraft and all these things, you can easily get records of people's or customers or clients that you work with. And it's a good source to actually track their background before you work with them. So, same thing, I lost money and I went back to work as a writer and producer. I also learned that from this experience, people put up a different face. And it's our own, it's ourselves to blame if we don't select properly, if we don't analyze properly, don't choose carefully. And then my fourth failure, this business was doing pretty well. In 2010, I invested in this plus-size apparel. And what happened was that my partner was addicted to gambling. So she went into the casino, gamble until the shareholders had to file something, I forgot what is it, with the authority to block her from entering the casino. Eventually, I realized that this is actually a good business. It did generate good money initially, but unfortunately, it's a good business in the wrong hands. So there's nothing much I can do, just to be more careful with partners. And then my fourth failure. I ever started a manufacturing company in Malaysia. That was in manufacturing film gear. The company is called Pulsar Tech. It was in 2010, 2011. 2012, the year I closed it down. And this company actually does manufacturing of film gear, like all the mat boxes and all these things. But I realized that I only see, from this experience, I realized that I only see the business in a very short-sighted angle. It's because that I realized that a lot of things are not in place. For example, distribution channel, the team, the kind of network that we need, to bring this product out to the market. And from this experience, I know that if I continue to be so short-sighted, at the end of the day or in the future, my business will probably end up the same thing. It's going to fall down again. So same thing for this. I lost money. And then I learned about how to view the business from a macro angle. What are the elements that will make the business work, make the partnership work or joint venture work, whatever way it is. And one thing that I really felt very close to my heart is about how to leverage. Leveraging meaning that if you don't have something, for example, to talk to person B, you need X plus Y. Or maybe no maths, sorry. Maybe to talk to somebody else. Let's say if I talk to Patrick one day, I tell him I want to do a business with you. But if I come without anything behind my back, unless Patrick is very kind, to take me in, or else chances are, like most businessmen out there, it's unlikely you can strike any partnership or any joint venture with them. So I realized that I need to leverage on something. That's why I start to build up my resources behind my back over the past 2 years, just to get a certain profile so that I can leverage on and talk to people. And same thing, I lost money again, back to work. I think that was the year 2010 that I wrote Kampong Ties, a Channel 8 drama. So this is one of my biggest failures in life, as of today. So I actually had 2 mentors that brought me up from 2010 all the way to end of 2012. So they helped me with a lot of things, including getting my first movie out, second movie out, several broadcast productions, getting the whole media company out. But how did I fail them? It's because that when you start to do well, you start to become arrogant and you become egoistic. That's where I realized that I may have all sorts of reasons to push the blames away, but the outcome is the same. Things goes wrong or relationship gets spoiled. So it doesn't matter whatever you do, but the outcome is the most important thing. That's why from there I also learned about being objective-driven, how we need to achieve objective. And by spoiling the relationship, I still feel very bad today, but I guess we just have different pursuits in life. For me, back then, my mentor wanted me to stick to the local market, but myself, I wanted something bigger. I just can't seem to settle for the local market alone, especially when I've been traveling to China since 2009, and I realized that the market there is so sumptuous that Singapore market is a bit too small to hold me. So with these issues with my partners, with my mentors, I actually spoiled the relationship. But today we are still friends, but we are no longer as close as before, where we used to share everything from business to personal to anything that happens in our life. And I realized that ego is actually the killer to relationships and also to your business. Because there's a saying, I remember my mentor once told me, he says that I'm stubborn. But I told him, no, I'm determined. Then he tells me that determined and stubborn is only a thin line apart. But your actions that have crosses and the outcome produced shows that you're stubborn. And after thinking it logically, it does make sense. And as of today, I think I learned from the lessons, and it's good for me as well. As long as we're still friends today, it's okay. From 2007 to today, what I share with you is just merely 5 failures that I had experienced. There are a lot more. There's a lot more. For example, I was being threatened by gangsters mafias in China in 2000, just last year, 2000 in Shanghai, for doing a theater play there. And also when I shot a movie 3.50, we were disturbed by local mafias as well. But we had some police friends to help us out to settle the things. And also other kind of failures that is maybe not too nice to share in public. So for me, I feel that just never be afraid to fail. With every failure, you learn something. It makes you a better person. It helps you in your career, in your future. You become sharper, wiser, and more importantly, you become more savvy. So failure is actually a learning journey to lead you towards success. And for me as an entrepreneur, I would say that my biggest aspiration is not about earning a lot of money, but rather I want to see constant breakthrough. I want to excel. I always want to win myself. That means, for example, I'm at level 1 now. I want to win my level 1 to become level 2. And I want to win my level 2 to become level 3. And this goes up. I remember when I had my mentor back then, I started to realize a theory. I may feel that I know a lot of things. So it's just like I became arrogant because I felt that I know a lot of things. I can do this, I can do that. I don't need your help anymore. But I realized that I'm just standing at the 5th floor. When you're talking to somebody standing at the 50th floor, you're telling the person at the 50th floor that the 5th floor view is very nice. That's because you have not seen the 50th floor. How perfect the scenery is. So it's the difference in the mentality, the lack of the foresight. They can be the mentor because they're able to anticipate 3 steps ahead of you. And I've learned that things to see from a macro plan and understand why things happen, why we are supposed to do certain things or not. And I have this very interesting statement to share. It's actually by one of my friends, also a businessman. He was the one that sort of gave me the understanding. Sometimes I feel that to understand concept is just, if you understand means you understand, The teacher can spend hours to explain to you, but if you can't get a concept into your head, it's as if you're not learning the essence of it. There's a saying that my friend told me, is there a problem? So got a problem. Will you die? If you can't die, then means no problem. And this dialect's actually spoken to me in Hokkien. I had a problem back then in 2011, May of 2011. That was the year when I enlisted into Army, and yet I'm maintaining Supernova Media. And it was a tough time for me because I have to commit to Army and then at the same time manage the company. So my friend actually shared with me this in Hokkien. He said that, Alvin, 出代志啊，會死未? I tell him, 唔會死，唔會死就冇代志咯. Then, true, it does make sense to me. As long as it doesn't put your life at risk, it's actually fine. Of course, there is always certain parameters that when we do business, we have to be careful. Legal and ethical. As long as it's legal, it's fine. You can go ahead and do it. But regarding ethical, every person, the level of ethical is different. Some may feel that going into the gray area is fine, some may not, right? So this has to depend on individuals. And for myself, I believe these are the 2 key principles in my life that governance my way of doing business. So at present day, I may have quite a lot of failures in life, but I'm quite happy that I also have some achievements in life. So for example, I actually set up Indigo Venture, an investment firm, with one of my partners, and we've invested in a few companies today, and we own shares of quite a few companies, also in China. And then we have a Hangzhou China Industry Park project, which we are one of the partners as well, which today I'm traveling very often to Hangzhou in Zhejiang province to oversee this project. It's actually a foreign direct investment area in Hangzhou where we manage. And then I also have an advertising agency called The Brand Story with another 2 partners, 2 prominent partners, in fact. And I also have an Indonesia company that does transmedia content there called Paradigma Media Group. And I also set up bars in China, in Fuzhou. So I would say that although there may be failures in life, but it's a good learning journey for me. And that's the end of my sharing. Thanks for the time.
Thank you, Mr. So. Let's give Mr. So another round of applause for a great sharing. Our next distinguished guest is Dr. Patrick Khor. Dr. Khor is the boss of iBosses Private Limited and also the author of Rise of the GenY Entrepreneurs. I'm sure we would like to know more about the characteristics of GenY entrepreneurs. Let's welcome Dr. Khor on stage. Dr. Khor, please.
Hi, afternoon. It's a very interesting feeling, okay, when you come back to TP. Right? Seeing many of my colleagues. George, thanks for inviting me back. Hi, Madeline. And the feeling is good. Excellent. And, you may ask me why I stand up here. The world has changed, okay? Old people need to stand because old people need exercise. Young people just sit there and enjoy, okay? So I'd rather to run around, okay? It's a very different scenario when I'm working in TP in the past 5 years. I learned a lot from my colleagues. Thank you very much. And I'm able to see a lot of young entrepreneurs. At the same time, I also have a chance to learn from many of the young students. And 2 months ago, when I'm by myself, I see very different thing also. Okay. I thought that I want to spend more time with my family. End up, I spend 80% of my time in traveling. I go to Hong Kong, Malaysia, Hangzhou, China, Cambodia. I see very interesting phenomena in the whole Asia Pacific. So I thought that today, okay, I was going to cut it short and just want to share with you, the things going on. But I think Alvin have shared with you a very interesting scenario. Okay, I think a lot of seminars that I myself also participated. A lot of speakers talk about successful story. Okay, I think Alvin has shared a failure. In fact, that is exactly what happened in the world now. One day you want to ask someone to invest in you. Okay, you got a great idea. I say, hey, George, how about 200 million? Okay, so George said, okay, fine. Okay, 200 million, fine. But first, you tell me first, how many times you fail? If you never failed before, I don't think George will invest. No. The more you fail, the more asset you have. That's interesting. If Patrick failed 10 times, I tell you, you should invest in me. It's why I'm saying that Alvin is very investable. Okay, but I don't think you have a chance to invest. He don't need investment already. So more than fail, congratulations. The more portfolio you have. It's why here we always mention that please fail as much as possible, but fail fast, fail with low or no cost. Okay? So that's why we share. It's fine, go to fail. Of course, you go back and say, hey, Patrick, today I tell your mom that, this crazy speakers asked me to go back and fail the exam. I did not say that I asked you to fail exam, but experience. The world has changed. The way that we're doing in the entrepreneurship in the past and future, basically, we want to share with you one single point. The way of doing business, if you ask, is it very high risk for you to do business? You need a lot of resources to do business. Sorry, you're asking me an old question. Today is all about digital age. Today is all about how you bring idea into fruition. That is the world now. You may look at the textbook. The textbook have been telling you one thing. You got idea, fine. What you do? Test the idea, identify the market, and then you need to build something, right? Fine. Then what you do? You get the money, right? You get 100,000, 200,000, get your friends to invest in you, and go to invest, and go to build the product, right? And after that, you bring the product in the world. So what happened? No one buy from you after 2 years. So that is happening in the world. In the last 100 years, in the entrepreneurship world. 95% of the business fail. That is an old statement. We always want to share with you. Don't carry this statement forward because you are not looking into a situation right now. I also want to bring along this watch, okay? Anyone know what this watch is about? Huh? Watch? What watch? Okay, I don't show you. Otherwise, I say if you know what watch, I'm going to give you the watch, okay? So you don't know, right? It's a Pebble watch. A Pebble watch last September, this entrepreneurs thing, I have some idea about internet watch. I need $68,000. So what they do is that they bring the concept, no product yet, just idea. They bring the product into the market, over internet. There's got crowdfunding platform, Kickstarter. How much should they receive? They beg for money, really beg for money. I need money. You know how much they got? 1 month they got $10 million. 1 month. Okay, look at the whole situation right now. You got an idea, you ask for money, and people like your idea, and they are not going to give you, like George, $200 million one go. No. They will give you very small amount. $1,000, $2,000. But you have 10 over 1,000 people give you the money, you know. You understand? It's a change. So once they got the $10 million, when you got $10 million, what you do? Do you think you can deliver what the promise? I think can. They can find the best manufacturer in the world and do it. Listen carefully. Within 2 months' time, the product in the market, and this Patrick saw that. Okay, I donated to them. Okay, so I am very happy to receive my watch. Okay, I pay about $50, you know, kind of thing. I donate that. I did not me, okay. I asked my wife to do it. So, okay, I should do it. Okay, take a record. And within 3 months, they are the #1 in the world in terms of the internet watch. It forced Apple and Samsung move the whole entire market into this area. That is interesting. That is interesting. We ask ourselves, are you able to capture the market within 6 months' time? And are you able to capture the #1 market? No. But future, yes. Now, yes. So the world is all about testing. So this is a model that I have been trying to share with all the students. Also, I learned with my colleagues. The model has changed. The way of doing business is that. Anyone can tell me that what's the difference between this model and the old model? Huh? Sorry, can't see it, okay? Yeah. Okay, I think I would say yes, correct, you're right, okay? So, same thing, get the idea first. After that, build the market. But remember, I'm not asking you to build a product. I'm not asking you to get the money. Basically, you test the idea in the market first. After that, when the market responds to you, whoa, that is a good idea. Then what you do? Bang, you build. This is a model that I strongly believe for the next generation. I believe that that is a model for Generation Y, young people, because most of you all may not have resources, but you have a lot of ideas. When I teach a student always ask me, okay, I do that. How many of you think that you're very creative? Raise up your hand now. You see? You see, that is a common, okay? I've been asking about 2,000, 3,000. I taught about 3,000 students. Very few of them say, I'm very creative. They will ask the question, fine. I twist the question a bit. I will say, how many of you have ever complained before? Oh, you see? You want to like complain? Do you think young people like complain? Yes. You see what happened in Hong Kong now, right? Right, I go to Hong Kong, first thing I take is a photo. You all like complain, right? Patrick also like complain. Then I will share with all of you 2 things. I see two different type of people. One type of people keep on complaining. You join complain lah. You complain, I join you lah. We feel very good. And there's a very special group of people. What they do is, they go back, they still complain. Oh yeah, Huey, your idea, your complaint is very good. I like you. Then quickly they go back, you know. What they do? They do homework. What homework they do? They find solution. Very clever. Once they got a solution, where to sell? Where to sell? Back to your complaint, right? Instantly they become entrepreneurs. And they're able to make a very, very fruitful result. For me, I see complaint and creativity are the same thing. It all depends on whether you just enjoy your complaint or you listen to complaint, you transform into opportunity and make a good success out of it. That is the model. I want to share with you GenY. Okay, GenY and what phenomenon. I spent 5 years' time in do research in Generation Y. Okay, as I mentioned, I learned a lot from you all, and I realized few very interesting phenomena from the GenY entrepreneurs. This guy, I don't know where you know him. Basically, this is one very handsome young British, and when he doing the A levels, they feel very bored. He feel very bored. So what he do, he just writes a little bit program. So one day, Yahoo come to his house, said, lot, you know. I think it's a very great app, you know. How much you want to sell? So the guy said, okay, I don't know how much you sell, but why not you make an offer? So offer is $18 million pound. It's an app. Okay, basically at that time, years ago, basically it's a very interesting app. They consolidate. You see, the old time is all the newspaper, all the news is very big, right? So when you're using handphone to watch, it's very difficult, right? You can't really shift left and right. So what they do is the app is summarize all the content and deliver to you with very few sentences. Great app. And Yahoo did that. So what Yahoo said, never mind. So what you want to do? They say, I want to do university. I'm still doing my A level. So Yahoo said, no problem. You will be the CEO. I give you $80 million. And you are the student in uni. And you will be CEO for this business unit. So that is what happened, 17 years old. Very interesting. Of course, there another very crazy young entrepreneur is him. Facebook want to offer him a $3 billion cash. He don't know. He don't want. He don't want. You ask me, you give me $3 billion, I think most likely Patrick will take. So last for 10 generations. Every generation use 300 million. Enough, right? I think enough. He said, no way. No way. He's still looking for 10 billion buyers. Actually, he get very close. Alibaba almost want to buy him. Yep. But eventually they settle with 10. They settle with another one. Okay, just my mind, I forgot. Okay, yeah. So $7 billion. Back here, what is the story? Back to TP, what is the story? Okay, together with my ex-colleague, and we also mentor and we also help a lot of TP graduate, BTP entrepreneurs. Iskander, okay. No, Iskander, yes, Iskander. Very interesting. Iskander passion is yo-yo. You know yo-yo? How much a yo-yo cost in Singapore? 50 cents. Wow, yes. Buy 10 for me, please. Okay, okay. Yo-yo is a few dollars lah. Then one day he come to us, right, TP, and say, okay, EC, say, okay, I want to do business. So I say, but I'm doing yo-yo, but I'm very good. I'm an Asia Pacific champion. So I say, what can he do, right? So what we recommend him is, why not you start up a system and you sell yo-yo? So at the end, you know how much his yo-yo cost? $500 to $2,000. One yo-yo. Whoa, yo-yo, okay, yeah, why? Why? Because this is a customizable yo-yo just for you. You're using it to show off your skill. You're using it for competition. So he got order from all over the world. Highly customizable, good quality. And I heard that he's using the aeroplane metal, right? Those aeroplane metal to do it. So next time, you don't need to go around and show people your LV bag. You just show him yo-yo, okay? $2,000 yo-yo, okay? Yeah. So it's a very interesting market. Right? I quickly run through you. And of course, we have TP student that beat the rest of all the university students. Basically, he come up with an app, event app, very interesting app. And also we have Isaac. Okay, if you go to the Orchard Road and you see this is a red bus, right? Then basically you see Isaac, okay, and then he's doing the programming within the bus. Okay, mostly now he's in the NS now. Okay, but many of them, even NS doesn't stop them, like Alvin, right? Doesn't stop them by carry on the entrepreneurship journey. Our iJimmy, right? They want to build a platform basically to help people, art creator, to demonstrate the skill. That one I must share with you. I went to Hangzhou, okay? Very interesting, okay? Hangzhou, right? The Milot. When we went out, we see Milot, right? It's the whole floor. I think it's about couple hundred, 100 people working on the system. You know how they do? It's an app. Inside the app, they got 主播, okay? 主播 basically, there's a lot of ladies, men, performing, singing kind of thing, but it's a proper thing, okay? Proper one. So then they have a lot of fans. You know what the fans do? You take picture, yeah, maybe. They had chat. And you know what happened at the end? We know the business model. Anyone can guess? How do they make money? They make a lot of money, no? The fans pay the real money, and buy the virtual flowers to them. And if you like Huey Zhen, and okay lah, it's a real case, I think the last day we say that someone spent $10,000 RMB and buy a virtual car, really real money, and buy a virtual car and give it to the 主播. So the platform they do is profit sharing. Amazing. And I tell you, they are very hot in China. And they just received about $60 million of funding, investment. 2 years company, all GenY. All GenY. Okay, so these are all the cases that I want to share with you, basically. Okay, South Search, all of them. So if any of you are interested in doing some business as well, of course, you can always talk to EC, and later I will share with you what iBosses doing also. So these are all the cases that basically is from our graduate, TP graduate, and I think Atla very interesting. If you happen to go to the Orchard Road and you see there's running a very high class hostel, and if I get closer, basically I try to read that, okay, and one of them is say, US today, they are number 8 in the world in terms of branding of this high class. It's kind of 5-star hostel, okay, you go there, there's a bed for you, but it's a 5-star or 6-star kind of experience. Very interesting. Okay, so these are all the cases. If you ask me, what characteristic from all of you? What characteristic from GenY? Okay, of course, my book have put in there. Outside, I'm selling my book. Okay, but without buying the book, basically, you can get some idea. Few characteristics we have analyzed. Number one, you're not looking for money. You are not looking for money. Doing business is not just to make money. Actually, you got something you want to do. You have some passion. That's the number one I found. So I'm not surprised that you have some idea, then you try to test the idea and start that. I think it's fine. I think the second scenario that I always believe that is a very interesting community. When you do things, you're not just sit there, think of the idea, just do. Okay, basically you learn from everyone. Okay, you get opinion from your friends. Okay, you may say, how big is my network? How many network? Okay, all of you. Okay, Alvin talk about network, right? How big is the network? How many people you know? So I think it's a very different scenario. Our time, when I say I know 200 people, people say, oh, your network is very good. Today, you just look at the Facebook, right? You look at the WeChat, WhatsApp, Instagram, right? Basically, each of you got about 1,000 people. So if you go multi-level down, 1,000 people, each of them they have 1,000. If you go 4 level, you already know half of the Singaporean already. Yeah. If you just pay a bit, right? You go to LinkedIn and go to get your premium account, you know everyone in the world. Why I say everyone in the world? Because the business people today, most of them, they're using LinkedIn. It's a must for them. So you have a network already. For you to bring some product into the market is very fast. Very fast. Very cost effective. So that is good news for all of you. You want to do something. You want to do business. To round it up, okay, we also have some successful case as well. Okay, I think when this company called SingPost many years ago, you know SingPost, right? SingPost is a new company or old company? Oh, sorry, SingPost. Okay, the GenY say you're old. Yeah, SingPost is very old. It's about 120 years company. The story is not sexy. Okay, SingPost, so what, So they need to transform the whole story. SingPost have missed out many opportunities in the past because SingPost, the main income still from mail. But what's the problem? Okay, I think a few years ago or 2 years ago, the biggest problem is that you see there's a lot of platforms in the world, right? But when you want to order, they don't deliver in Singapore. And I find very interesting situation. You may spend a lot of time you look for the goods, right? T-shirt or tie, for example. Then you spend most of your time to look for the cheapest one. Then when you get the tie, the shirt, for example, and then you want it fast, So you save $5 by finding out the cheapest shirt in the internet. But you go to shipping, you want fast. You don't mind to pay $30 because you want to get it tomorrow. So that is the situation. So the shipping can make a lot of money. So that is why SingPost have decided to transform itself to be a e-logistics company. And for those who are no share, you see the SingPost share last year $1, now it's like 1.9. Okay, it's going to be 2.5. Anyway, don't talk about the stock here. Okay, what they do is that they transform themselves, become a very successful e-logistics company. And what they do is they acquire company. One of the TP entrepreneurs sold the business, about $2 million to them. And our founder Kingsley, basically they have this sample platform, very interesting platform. Very dynamic, okay, they work very hard. Eventually they sold as 1.2 million and they also be a director. Okay, so that is a TP case. Of course, we have another case, Eddie. Okay, Eddie also, they do very well in the IT. And he structured the whole company, become platform-based builder, brand building, and he successfully cashed out 2.7 million. And that is all that from, whatever I present to you is all from TP. All from TP. What happened is out of TP, yeah, I show you a few cases. Just 2 months ago, I think 1.5 months ago, in Singapore, this startup called Pim. So, okay, they sold about $29 million. Right? It's an NUS student after 3 years' time. What they do live chat. You know live chat? Very creative, very innovative, right? Very special, right? No? It's a very general idea, so. Not very good. But execution, very good. I have a student ask me, Patrick, how is my idea? Then I tell him, wow, your idea is very good. So you know what they do? Give me $1 million. Because you say my idea is very good, right? Then normally I will say, excellent idea, no execution is $1. I pay you $1 only. Average idea. With the excellent execution, that is the price, 30 million. Execution must be good. Excellent idea, excellent execution, of course, will be something like Apple, Alibaba, it's kind of B, right? Many B, billion market. They are also a non-stop game, sold 100 million from the Candy Crush, because the only one game is the first one in the human history, one game they can list. Then demand for 100 million kind of market cap. That is the only company in the world can do it. Just one game, right? How many of you still playing this game? No. Don't mind? So it's why they need to invest. They need to buy. I will round up this with this company called Viki. Viki is a very interesting platform. They want to compete with a YouTube. But at the end of the day, they make it. It's a startup. 50,000 funding from Spain government. It's an international team. What they do is that they stream Korean movie on the internet, but they have subtitle. They get people to do a subtitle for them for free. 2 years time and cash out 200 million. Okay, so there's many things coming up. So if you still ask me, Patrick, is Singapore still lack of entrepreneurship? I say no. But one thing I saw basically on the market is, when I go to Cambodia, I can share with you what I see. I saw a lot of young entrepreneurs, and they share with me the idea. Then when I look at the idea, I say, oh, that's a very good idea. And if I bring the same idea from Cambodia to America, this is called $1 million value of the startup. But in Cambodia, I can tell you, it costs about $5,000. $5,000, you can buy a great idea. You think carefully. Idea is still idea. Doesn't matter idea is from Cambodia, from Singapore, in America. Idea is still idea. You got it? So the biggest problem right now in Asia entrepreneurs is the valuation gap is so big. So big. So that gives us and iBosses and room to play. So basically iBosses, what we are doing is that we just help all the entrepreneurs in Asia to reflect the best valuation. So we help them to bring the idea, not just from Singapore, we bring it into the region. Eventually, we will help them to obtain the best value from the world. That is what we do. To cut it short, what iBosses is doing is that very simple. We from the downstream all the way to upstream. For example, how many of you think you have a very good idea? And have you ever seen people keep on sitting there just think of idea? Hey, I got idea. Every day come up with idea, but never do. Do you ever see these people? So in the old model, that's all lah. People, you comment that Patrick just keep on giving idea, you do nothing. No. iBosses will buy your idea if you don't want to do. You can just sit there and come up with idea. You can make a lot of money every day. Out there, a lot of people like your idea. They don't have idea. They want to spend the time. They want to put the money into it. You got it? So from downstream, you can say idea. I got your idea. You don't like. I help you to sell to other people. They carry on the idea. Why not? Another one. You spend 3 years time to build your system. After that, you feel very tired. Cannot make it. Finish. Go off. Just like you're building a house, after 3 months, your house is like that. Suddenly you say, I don't want. You walk off. You demolish the house. That is what's happening right now. So what should you do? iBosses will help you to carry on. Your unfinished business model, fine. Will help you to carry on. Of course, end of the day, our major project is the IPO. We help company to IPO. Okay, basically iBosses, as long as you've got idea, you're growing in certain stages, we look at the business model and then we help you to go into different IPO stock market as well. So we do a complete solution as well. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, okay, thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Khor, and please remain on stage. Let's give Dr. Khor another round of applause for the very interesting sharing. We would now like to invite Mr. Alvin back on stage again for the next part of the program, which is the panel discussion on GenY entrepreneurship. Joining them in this discussion are three more Temasek Poly GenY entrepreneurs: Eddie Chu of Loov Private Limited, Ms. Zhen of Waesome Productions, and Ruben Chong of Calvary Carpentry Private Limited. We shall now hand over the mic to Dr. Khor to chair the panel discussion. If you have any questions later, please raise your hand, walk to the nearest mic, say your name and course of study. Now, Dr. Khor, please.
Okay, so I thought that the best way to share entrepreneurship, right? Basically, entrepreneurship, we don't believe that it's kind of teaching, okay? You can't really teach entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship is all about experience, right? So I thought the best experience is to learn from them, their experience. So, but here we're trying to come up with different questions based on their requirement and their experience, their characteristic, and try not to go into too academic. I think, Huey, maybe I want to ask you, right? Okay. Of course, I would like you to just share, okay, your background with everyone. And then I would like you to address this question, okay. It's a bit of gender issue, okay, but actually in Singapore, we don't see this issue. So as a female entrepreneur, right, do you see any disadvantage or advantage, okay, when you start your entrepreneur's journey, all right? Or before that, you may want to just give us some introduction yourself.
Hello. Hello. Hi, my name is Zhen. I'm the managing director of Waesome Production. We've been around for about 5.5 years. Graduated in 2009. Also from design school, same as Mr. Alvin same diploma as well, diploma in moving images. So we learned a lot about video production, but same thing. I don't learn anything about business when I was in school. So in my 5 years of entrepreneurship, me and my partner Mei and Raphael, we have learned through a lot of things through mistakes and a lot of very valuable experiences through the journey. So to answer the question, I don't think there is any disadvantage of being a female entrepreneur. I think, at least in Singapore, there's no much gender problem. So I think personally, if you think you can, then you will. So it's all about your own mentality of how you perceive yourself, how much you can achieve as a person. It doesn't matter if you're a girl or a boy, I guess. Does that answer your question?
Okay, so it's very safe to do entrepreneurship in Singapore, right?
I guess.
Yeah, okay, yeah, okay. Okay, thank you for sharing. And maybe I go to Eddie, right? So Eddie, when I first see you in Poly, and I feel strong entrepreneurship from you, okay? So I'm going to ask you this question, can be a very difficult question, right? So a lot of young people, they may be enjoying their life in dating, clubbing, sport, right? So why make you focus so much in building your own business, okay? And you can enjoy yourself, with your friends.
Okay, hi everybody. My name is Eddie. I'm one of the co-founder of Loov, together with 2 other team members. What we do is we actually have a platform to match volunteers to voluntary organizations. If you're wondering when I graduated, I actually graduating in next year, 2015. I'm still a third-year student in Temasek Polytechnic. So we actually came up with the idea because of a app development competition, and I guess my spirit of entrepreneurship was driven after I attended Dr. Patrick's lesson, whereby he gave me a greater insight of what entrepreneurship is about. And from that on, it spurred my inspiration and my own passion into entrepreneurship, whereby I started to find out more about doing business. And then with a great idea, we just decided to go for funding. And we are very fortunate to be able to get the A Startup Grant, $50,000. And yeah, today we are incorporated as Loov Private Limited. Yeah.
Very young, very promising young entrepreneurs, okay, together with the team, of course. Alvin, okay? Yeah, so no need to introduce Alvin, right? I think you mentioned that your business have been global, and you mentioned about Singapore can maybe, okay, it's too small. But actually, after running around, you want to share what does it take to be a successful entrepreneurs, okay, in the regional context?
I think the most important aspect is to have a global view in terms of entrepreneurship. If we talk about consumer-driven markets, if your products or services requires consumer, Singapore only, I think, got 5.2 million of consumers for you. If you have 10%, it's 520,000 people that use your products or services. But when you talk about, for example, Indonesian market, they have 250 million of accounted population. If you plus the unaccounted ones, probably 280 or even more. If you talk about 1%, it's still more than your 10% of your Singapore population. The next, if you look at even a bigger scale, we talk about China. They have 1.3 billion population. Same thing, accounted population. 0.01% is still bigger than Singapore's market. And if you're, as an entrepreneur, I think it's to have the courage to take the step to build something big. Of course, we talk about goals in life. That's what I feel. Everybody have different goals in their life, you know. It's hard to compare goal to goal. Somebody may just want a simple family, stable job. And if they achieve it, they achieve their goals as well. So for example, myself, my goal is to have something bigger. So if I say that, hey, your goal very small, you know, it's not right, I'm actually wrong. Because as long as your goal is being achieved, you have made it. So for me, I'm still far from my goals, the ones that I really want to get onto. And I'm still taking the risk as of today to continue to venture into new markets and doing new things. Thanks.
Very interesting, right? Okay, so basically, dream big and see the world is your business platform. And of course, you know, I always mention that back home in Singapore, it's good for you to test your idea and make it successful. Then you recommend.
Sorry, let me add on one more thing. I remember this very interesting saying. Entrepreneurs, right, we need to dream, believe, and achieve. But if we dream, believe, and keep on dreaming, then I don't think your goals will ever be fulfilled. So I think it's to take the action. Sometimes you just have to go by gut feel. You can calculate the risk, but there will be uncertainties, no matter how you calculate. There will be certain risk factors here and there. There's no 100% safe investment to make money. If not, I'll be making a lot of money already. So we just have to sometimes rely a bit on gut feel and just take the first step.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Ruben, the first time I see you, right, I thought you already a very successful business in... actually, I see you, I thought you were a very successful contractor, okay? Because at that time, I'm renovating my house, okay? So, but actually, surprisingly, I realized that you're still in NS and you've been running your business. It's quite amazing, okay? So, Ruben, basically the question is, just share with us, okay, in this carpentry industry and how you started, okay? Just share with us.
Okay, hi guys. My name is Ruben Chong. I'm sure many of you here are just for your tutorial, right? Actually, I'm from TP. I graduated 2012. I might be sitting in one of the older auditoriums, just like you guys. Maybe some of you guys still checking your Twitter or like your Facebook or waiting for time to pass. But I just want to highlight certain points. Entrepreneurship is something that is not for everyone. But then again, if you are serious about something, you should go your 110%. I'll just share a bit of background for myself. I'm not that fortunate like many of you guys. I didn't come for too good of a background. I had many setbacks in life. So actually I thought I need a backup plan. I need a plan A. You know, many times you hear people, hey, let's go to TP, get a good diploma, study hard, climb the corporate ladder. But what if someone told you that you can build your own corporate ladder and get others to climb it for you? I mean, wouldn't that be a better idea? So that question was posed to me like maybe 3 years ago. I don't want to go too much about my failure. Like, I mean, Alvin shared, many businesses are built on failures. And through failures, I mean, you never know. It's not about how high you fall, but how high you bounce back. And many a times, anyway, to start off, I would just like to thank TPEC for having me here, Miss Alice and Dr. Khor. Why I started the carpentry business. Okay, it's not a norm that people go into like a dirty, sweaty business. But many of you here might be visiting. I mean, I heard from Mr. Eric that you're going to visit Jason Parquet. Jason Parquet is worth $55 million, and they are just selling wood. So if you do something that's different, there's always this saying, if you do something that's different, if you do things that others won't, you'll get things that others won't have. And I believe this is very evident for me as well. How I started the business was, actually, I was in my room. I live in HDB, so my bedroom floors are all made of wood. And then one fine day during Chinese New Year, my parents told me that maybe we should do something with our floor, our wooden floors. There are so much scratches. So I went online to research, to Google like whether there were suppliers to help me to sand down and varnish the floors. Then actually, I was shocked to realize that nobody in the industry is doing this. So I did some calculation. I got like 600 units in my estate. If I can just convince 5% of the market to undertake some of my services, then I mean the sum adds up eventually. So what I did was I called this supplier, Bona, they are a Swedish brand. I told them, say, I want to buy your sanding machine. Me and one of my poly friend, we wanted to knock on every door and say, hey, Chinese New Year coming, you want me to do some refurnishing services for your house? I thought I could do it on my own. Then the mentor, when I met him in Serangoon Gardens, near his place, he told me that you have the right direction, but you have got it all wrong from the start. So what he did was he told me, that was in 2001. I was still in, I think, my 3rd year in TP. He told me that, why not you understudy me for 1 year? I won't be able to pay you. From there, I will give you the contacts, give you the supply, give you the manpower. So I took that leap of faith. I understudied him for 1 year. I traveled to Sungai Kadok from TP. I carry wood to my class. Most of my lecturers wonder what I'm doing. I would say you need to get the right mentors in place. You need to be very, very determined and very driven. Don't let others put you down, because people are just jealous of you most of the time. They say like, hey, you're not good enough, or your idea won't work. So I think it's good if you have any ideas, share your ideas. Don't just keep your ideas. I got a friend of mine who told me that, hey, I got a very, very good idea. We're going to do very well in my business. So I say, tell me your idea. He said, no, I cannot tell you because eventually you'll copy my idea. But actually, I think Mr. Khor is sharing that you should share your ideas. Don't just sleep over your ideas. Share your ideas. Without sharing your ideas, I mean, there's no execution to it. You will not receive anything in return. So, basically, I just want to end off saying that share your ideas to Mr. Khor and to the TPEC group. You never know where you go. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, very good. So I see all of them warm up already. Now I'm going to ask more challenging question, more difficult question, right? Then after that, I'll hand over to you all. Ask difficult question, please. Okay, for your industry, right? Huey is a highly competitive industry, right? So imagine that eventually you become a biggest in this industry, right? So can you share with us, have you identified any success factor in this area so that you will make your business into almost the leader in this industry? Okay, yeah.
I think many people have different interpretation of being success. So I just want to share a bit of what I think is that to me success is that you are able to have an idea, and then after that you learn how to execute it in your own way, and then you watch through the process, you fail, you make mistake, you learn from it, you climb back up, you go again. Then this goes round and round and round for many years. So to me, success is not being the biggest production house in Singapore or globally, but more of being a more of solving problem companies. Okay, we produce videos, but we don't produce top-notch videos. Okay, I'll be honest, but we use our heart and soul to think through how to solve the problems. And like whenever you face a problem, creating a PowerPoint slide, then what if you could use the video to solve a problem? So this is where we come in, and then we give in a lot of our thoughts and ideas, and then we learn how to execute it and then make it happen. So to me, success is more of a journey of learning experience. So I'm always hungry to learn of a lot of things. So I always make mistakes, I admit, but I'll learn from it and then I'll move on. So thank you, Patrick.
Very good. Okay, thank you. So problem-solving process and together with sustainable effort, I think that will make you be very successful. Okay, good. Eddie, you're the best person to connect with all of them, most of them, right? Because you are still studying in TP now. Difficult question to you is that if you want to give some advice to them, okay, as a peer student in TP now, any advice?
Yeah, I guess one advice I can give to TP students out there, if you have a very good idea, share your idea to one of your lecturers or someone you know who can support you in your idea. Because it's a very interesting situation for my team, because I believe, how many of you here are third-year students? Any third-year students? Second-year students? Yeah, so if you are second year before you go to your third year, some of you have like major project and internship in third year. So for us, right, we are actually doing our own company for our major project and internship during our third year. So we maximize our time doing it as a school project and at the same time running it as a business as well. So if you have a very good idea, share it with someone, and hopefully you can bring the idea into the real world and do it as a project as well, so you can maximize your time fully. Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay, so instead of allocate additional time slot, right? So since anyway you're doing a project, you're doing assignment, so why not you embrace the entrepreneurship within the whole process? That's what you advise. Okay, so Patrick talked too much already, right? So happy, sorry. Okay, I ask you a question later. I bring the session back to the floor. Anyone, please? Okay. Here is not a lecture. Okay. Entrepreneurship, there's no such thing called lecture. Okay. So no such thing called stupid question. Basically, it's all experience. Any question, anything you want to clarify or want to share with us? Please ask, okay? Because I need time to drink water, okay? Ask question, please. Hi, Kochi.
Hi, my name is Zhen. Entrepreneurship is an interesting idea, and I think the Temasek Poly Entrepreneurship Center could possibly be an incubation hub whereby students like Eddie, where I'm currently the mentor, could actually come forward and approach Entrepreneurship Center to say, I am interested in doing something. And I think learning from Alvin and the likes, having to fail is really part of a learning journey. So my question is, how would perhaps successful entrepreneurs like some of you on the panel, and including you, Patrick, would come forward to contribute and perhaps establish some initial funding and give back to your alumni, give back to your alma mater to say, I'm interested to give back to Temasek Poly and help the students with seed money with $2,000 or $5,000 and let them fail as part of their internship and final year project. Can that be done?
Thank you. Maybe I take the question first, okay? One thing I learned during when I was working together with my colleague, I learned from Eric. He asked me one question. Entrepreneurs, actually, is it all about money? Does it mean that I give you the money, you sure you solve your major problem? So as long as we move on, actually, we surprisingly find that actually the money is double-edged sword. I give you money, then end of the day, and you may say, okay, fine, I got money. And in fact, that is what happened in Singapore. A lot of young graduates actually seeing getting money from government, from investor, is the ultimate ending of the goal. And that is very horrible. Because the aim is to get the money, get the competition, win, that's all, I'm the best. So it's why the way that, it's what I learned from my colleagues is that actually the way you look at that, actually the whole entrepreneurship is, money is part of it. But with the new generation of entrepreneurship process, crowdfunding coming in, testing your idea, actually is resources. It's a smart resource, okay? This one I learned from Eric. Smart resources. When I say smart resources, basically is that how can I pull, looking for the best resources, the teammate here, how can I able to, when I'm very sad and talk to people like him, and never mind, carry on, I failed 5 times, you know? So it's a process. So when you look at the process, then we define the resources. I think that is what we need. And the more the people ask me about entrepreneurship, is it engineering, problem solving? Actually, I learned that it's an art. If you ask me, the way of entrepreneurship is all about art. It's an art, okay? An artist come up with the idea, how to crystallize the idea and come up with the picture, for example. So in this case, if it's art, if my artist, you give me money doesn't mean that I will be very successful. So, but it's true that, you know, when I go around, I can share with you, your guys very lucky. There's no country in the world, to be honest. I see so much funding given from government, so much funding. And the environment is very favorable. So it's why I thought that actually the money is one part of it, but ultimately is the process, is the resources you can identify. And the second thing is that I met with a lot of investors after I left. I can honestly tell you, money is not a problem already. A lot of money flowing around. I'm not talking about which country is richer. That's not my topic. I give you an example like Hangzhou. Hangzhou we went. Hangzhou recently Alibaba has listed. Anyone working in Alibaba, they are millionaire. And a lot of them, after Alibaba listed in America, they left the company. So they got a couple of $1 million to $10 million cash. And what they do is that some of them, they build an entrepreneurship idea cafe, you know. In a cafe, people just drink coffee and talk about entrepreneurship. And young people just mingle around that. I think that's what Josh had mentioned this before, okay? Coffee shop idea, you know, entrepreneurship. So what I'm trying to say is that it's an ecosystem more important than the just individual manpower funding. That's what I thought that, okay, yeah. So again, I thought too much, okay?
I think regarding such opportunities, I will be very happy to share. In fact, I did share one, but was rejected just a few months back. So I hope in the near future there will be more of these opportunities.
Alvin is saying that any good idea, look for him and he got some money to invest, right? So okay, but really, money no longer a problem nowadays. Everywhere, investor looking for good idea. That is what I observe nowadays. Money is not a problem. Okay, so that's what I want to share with all of you. Okay. Thank you, Coach. Okay, very good question. Thank you very much. Coach, you want to share with us about your view, or that's fine? Okay, yeah.
I don't deny that money is not an issue, that a lot of money and grants that the government has made available. What I think is the existing infrastructure and the processes that TP has today, whereby students are automatically and generally allocated to companies as an intern. So what I'm suggesting is to say, can we, not every student here will want to be an entrepreneur. Let's face it. There are students who say, I am interested to try. We want to give these students the opportunity to try. And we must have the gumption to say, I am prepared to let them try and put some money in there. And that's what we need, because we want to encourage the students to say, we want you to try and fail. So the caveat here is not so much about lack of money, you know. It is more the ability for us to encourage our students to try and say, because okay, let me share with you maybe for the benefit of others. I'm an adjunct lecturer for social entrepreneurship. Social entrepreneurship is going to be the mainstream of businesses today. And I'm convinced that the Michael Porter's value of shared value will prevail in the long run. And I'm hoping that companies who might be interested in investing in good ideas for social entrepreneurship, helping the people who need help, creating opportunities for the 85 million disabilities in China. That's a big market. And I hope that this is the kind of opportunities that Singapore becomes a hub for philanthropy, a hub for giving back to society and solve social problems. And that's my dream. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. If no, I just want to run up quickly. Okay. About maybe I think we have a short time. Sorry, Alvin. Alvin, you just going to share with us just one point that when you travel around for entrepreneurs, 1 point. Okay. So after you learn that, okay, just 1 point to share with all of us.
I think for most people that travel, most goes to a city or country as a tourist. You go for sightseeing, tours here and there. But I think as an entrepreneur, the main objective is to understand the culture, the business culture, the human relationship culture, even dining culture. Simple thing like dining, there is a culture to it. So only when you're able to understand the local culture by itself, then you're able to communicate and interact with the locals. And from there to forge business relationship, to eventually one day produce some business outcomes.
Thank you. Ruben, very difficult question for you. Someone want to offer 1 million to you to buy your company. You want to sell?
I mean, at the end of the day, most businesses want to get acquired some way. But for me personally, because I'm a very hands-on kind of guy, I like what I'm doing. I don't feel I'm working, although I'm working like 7 days a week. I mean, we have been offered like equity to people to buy in equity, but maybe not at 1 million, maybe a bit more than 1 million we will consider. But like I mentioned to you guys, if you really love something, it might not be the money. Like since money is an issue for all of us, most startups don't need money to start up. I mean, you don't need a product to sell a product. You don't need money to start. I mean, a website now, if you all watch YouTube frequently, the ads keep playing. Just $1 for you to sign up with HostGator, which is what I did in the past. We just had a website. We don't have any backup system. We don't have any back office. We don't have a warehouse. Basically, we have nothing. We have no products, no services. So if you can, I mean, to touch on a bit on the previous question on whether you require seed money. I mean, the seed, if it's your own cash, you will feel the pinch, and you realize that, hey, this is my hard-earned $500, $2,000. I really need to make my parents proud. I need to be responsible for whoever gave me the money, rather than if someone hands you the money and say, go do as you wish. I think that's important, that if you can, try to find people, or if you can, try to fork out the money on your own, go and work, go and do something about it. And the key thing is to get people to contribute. I mean, there are a lot of incubation programs here. People that don't give you money, but they give you expertise, they give you networking, they give you they help you network, they give you knowledge. That is more important than money, because money can't buy those things. So in summary, I will not sell my business for 1 million as of now. Thanks.
Okay, yeah, okay. So thank you very much, all of you. Any other question from the floor? No? Okay, enough? Okay. So thank you very much. Okay, so I hand over the mic to the stage.
Thank you, panelists, for that lively exchange. I would now like to invite Mr. George Yap again on stage to present them with a token of appreciation. Mr. Yap, please.
We'd now like to invite Ms. Teo Hui Zhen to receive her token of appreciation. Mr. Eddie Chew. Mr. Ruben Chong. Mr. Alvin So. And last but not least, Mr. Patrick Khor. Dr. Patrick Khor, sorry.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of today's program. We have prepared some light refreshments for you outside the auditorium. But of course, it's only courteous for us to let our speakers have the first bite. Let's give them another round of applause for a job well done today. Speakers, you may take your leave. It's very awkward. Yeah. Coming back to the rest of you guys, on behalf of the organizers, I really hope you have enjoyed this insightful sharing and exchanges today. And of course, are more inspired to become your own boss one day. Thank you.
Testing.
Sorry, take a photo? With who? Oh, okay.